It is called close readings. And I have something here very interesting about what a cloze test is. Okay. These are the rules for a cloze test. The cloze test is those exercises in which you have to fill spaces in a reading. Either they give you the options or you have to create the options. So which are the
Okay.
steps to make a cloze test? First of all, read the passage, read the text completely. I
Miss,
don't know.
please, can you expand the
Okay,
image,
let me
please?
see if I can expand it. Okay, let me check. Let's put it here. Can you see it better?
I see better. Thank you.
Okay. So these are the rules for a cloze test. First of all, you read the passage. There are, I think, Marlon, I have mentioned, but I don't know whether you know that reading has two styles. Okay. They are called skimming and scanning. Skimming is read fast to get an idea about the topic of the material. Okay. That is called skimming. Skimming reading means read fast. You read as fast as you can. Okay. Without thinking about meaning, without thinking about the structures. No, you just read fast. What for? To get an idea about what this material is about. It's a sign, it's an email, it's a letter, it's an article, it's a review. What kind of, it is an essay. Okay, what kind of text is that and its characteristics? Next week, I'm going to work with writing articles. Okay, and the other week writing essays. The next 4 weeks is going to be about writing. The characteristic of the different kinds of writing you might be asked in the Cambridge test. Okay, so we have skimming. Read fast to get an idea about the topic of the material. And then we have the second method of reading, that is scanning. As its name means, it is read carefully in order to find a particular information. Okay? To answer a question, to identify main ideas, etc. That etc. is identifying my idea, find the answer to a question, try to guess the meaning of words. Okay. The order is always skimming first and then scanning. Okay. Once you have understood what the text is about. So when we had a cloze test, okay, first of all, you read the passage using skimming, not scanning, skimming. Okay. Then you read the options given in the case that you have options. Otherwise, you think about which options are possible for that blank space. Number 3, choose the right form of word. Is that a verb? Is that a preposition? Is that a conjunction? Is that a noun? 4, maintain readability. What does maintain readability mean? It means that you need to see if it is a preposition, I read the sentence again and see if it makes sense or not. Okay, for example, if you have something like this, for example, you have this. People are looking forward to, sorry, looking forward is together, should be separated. People are looking forward to the new advances in robotics. If you have the option, you have letter A, know about, letter B, knowing about, and letter C, about. Okay? So you read, look, people are looking forward to the new advances in robotics. So you begin, okay, looking forward. Know about, maybe. Okay, knowing about, maybe. About, forward to about. About is never after to. So you cross out that option. So you have know about or knowing about. Common sense says, no, no, in A1 and in A2, teachers told me that we use a simple verb after preposition to. But the expression looking forward to is always followed by a verb with ing. It is an exception. And you should know that because the use of looking forward to plus ing is an structure studied in A2 very briefly and in B2 in depth. So, as you know, no, no, no. Looking forward to plus a verb with ing. You discard this and you get that the correct answer is knowing about. People are looking forward to knowing about the new advances in robotics. In this case, we know that after to, it must come a verb in this structure. Why? Means, but to is used in other senses like listen to or go to. Yes, but when you use listen to, you need something that make noise. Okay, listen to a teacher, listen to music, listen to a guitar. And here is not listen. Means but go to followed by a place or a location. I go to the park, he went to the movies, etc. And this is not a location. Okay? Means but to verb. But if we see carefully, notice that here we have looking forward. So the verb is here. Looking forward is not a verb. So the rule verb to verb does not apply here. Okay? And remember, when we use go to, immediately comes a place, not a verb. We say go dancing, go swimming, okay? But not go to dance or go to swim. That's Spanglish, ir a nadar, ir a bailar, go to swim, go to dance. No, go dancing, go swimming. When we use go to, we talk about move in the direction of a place. Okay? So you choose the right form of word and maintain readability. Then the tone of the passage. What's the tone of the passage? If it is an article, so you're going to find adjectives or a review, you're going to find lots of adjectives for describing. If it is an email, the vocabulary is common because it's kind of informal text. If it's in an essay, it's really formal. So you have to see, okay, this is argumentative. This is just presenting a topic. This is an opinion essay because we have different kind of essays. We have argumentative with pros and cons. We have explicative that explains something, maybe a procedure, maybe the way things are done. Okay. So depending on the kind of essay, you know the kind of words. If it is a dialogue, okay, you know that, okay, it's a dialogue, so I should have reading. It is everyday language because it's a conversation, the level of formality according to the greeting. Someone say hi, okay, informal. If someone say good morning, sir, I know that's formal. So you set your mind in the kind of text. Where do you do it? When you skim, okay? And when you're looking for an answer, you scan. Then we have avoid repetition. Usually in the cloze test, you never repeat a word because the objective is to see how do you manage vocabulary. Find links and keywords such as looking forward, preposition to, the verb that accompanies the expression, etc. If you have, for example, but, you know, no, first sentence affirmative, but negative. Likewise, you have however,
However.
okay, or nevertheless. So you know that when you have however is the same sense as but. But is A1, however is B1. I don't know if I have mentioned before, Marlon, I have mentioned that before, but Eduardo, maybe I haven't mentioned that before. But when we use register, it is called in English, in let's say academic English, it is called lexicon. What is a lexicon? Is the kind of words people use to express their ideas. Okay, so I'm sure Marlon knows about it because we always work about that. If you are in A1, your examiner expects you to use but. I like the beach, but I don't like crowds at the beach. Okay, that's A1. An examiner listen to you say, okay, that's at the level. But when you are in a B1 or in a B2, they do not expect you to use but words that have the same sense as however, or in spite of, or in spite. For example, I like the beach, but I don't like crowds. In B1, the examiner is expecting the same idea with another level of lexicon, another kind of words, more complicated to use, such as, I like the beach. However, crowds at the beach are not my preference.
Yes.
However, I hate crowds at the beach. Yes, Marlon.
What about the meaning? The meaning is exactly the same.
Exactly the same. If you look for an English Spanish dictionary, it would say, sin embargo, no obstante.
Because when I read something, the books in the company or other tests, I found new words, but I never use that because I think had different meaning. But when I search in the on the web, the meaning is the same. So
Yes, that's
that
what we
that
call.
that I don't know why in the same word the meaning change or
No, no. It is
okay.
called, and I'm using, let's say, scientific words. These are linguistic concepts.
Okay,
When you say, for example, that you look in the web for the meaning and the meaning is the same, but the words are different, we talk about register of lexis. That's the
okay,
meaning of words you use in A1 and the synonyms you use in B1.
but
Okay.
people it's not common that the people use that even people from US because I have meeting with people from United States, it's not common that they use that words. But when they uh, send me an email, they use they use them. Yes.
Actually, if you have an English speaking person talking to Chinese people or Latin American people or French people or German people, that we use a low register. Why? Because they know that you learn English outside of an English speaking country. So they use the most simple words. For example, Eduardo, they can say, you have the choice between whole milk and skimmed milk. However, whole milk gives you a more dense preparation than skimmed milk. You might find it in a textbook about cooking. But if an American chef comes to your restaurant and is teaching you the way to fix a new dish, or fix a different way, they will say, listen, Eduardo, whole milk can be used, but skim milk will give you a not so thick result. Instead of say a dense, that means the same, okay, thick, they use the word thick because they think, oh my God, should he know the word dense, espeso? Ah, no, he might know thick. Okay. If you use whole milk, the result will be thicker than if you use skim milk. But when an American chef is talking to an American chef, they will use the word dense. Okay, it's the same. If an engineer is talking to Marlon, he would say, you know, you can use this machine, but you have to explain the procedure to your workers. But if they, because they are talking to Marlon, who is a Latin American, but if they are talking among themselves, they will say, you know, this guy, Marlon, yes, I show him the machine. However, he needs to explain the operators how to make it work. When they speak among themselves, English speaking native and English speaking native. Okay, or if you get a textbook, you get the textbook, you're not going to find but, you're going to find however, nevertheless, because they are technical in any area. Okay, either mechanics and engineering or cooking, that is Eduardo's field. That's why I'm using those kind of examples that you can relate to. Okay, Eduardo can relate to cooking procedures, ingredients, how to select the best ingredients, how to follow an order to fix some kind of food that if you don't follow the order, it would be a disaster. But for Marlon area is engineering, trade, budgets, prices, because of the area where he works. So depending on the area, you say, okay, they are different. Words are different, but the register of lexis, the level of vocabulary would be the same. When you speak is one register, when you read is another register, when an English speaking person talk to you is a different register, and when you talk equal to equal, it would be a different register. And register of lexis mean the words you use to express your ideas. Okay? And the register of lexis for a B1 is not the same as A1 and A2, what the examiner expect. And B2 is even more complex. Okay? And finally, you keep on practicing. Okay, get the best note in a Cloze test. It's not that you do it once and yeah, I got a result just by reading once. Okay, that's why this masterclass exists, for you to get trained on the different things. So after this class, maybe Eduardo Marlon said, okay, I'm going to find some Cloze tests in the internet and follow the procedure once, twice, 3 times, many times. At the end, you find out that you can do the Cloze test in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, in 3 minutes. Okay, but you need to practice. You need to practice a lot.
Practice a lot.
Yes. As I put, practice makes perfect. Okay, so you need to do it that way. Do you have any question about the rules for Cloze tests, skimming, scanning, and register of lexis or register level of words?
Okay.
It's okay for you,
It's okay for me too.
Marlon? It's okay. Nice. So now let's go to the real world. Okay. let's go to an exercise on cloze tests. Let me open it because I have it closed. Here it is. Okay, let's share again. Okay, this is a very nice website. Its name is English Revealed. In English Revealed, English Revealed. In English Revealed, you can practice from cat, that is A2, to pet, that is B1, to FCE, okay, that is foreign comprehension of English, to CEA, that would be a C1, to CPE, that is C2, okay?
Wow.
Yes,
I
you can
think
practice, you can
you want
practice,
me to see what's it.
and in
But
each, and in
I
each you have A1 minus, A1, A1 plus, A2, A2 minus, A2, and A2 plus.
okay,
At the same B,
but
B1, uh-huh.
I I guess C is just for native. Whatever people could study C level.
Into the characteristics of a C level, it is either you were born in a different country, but you lived at least 12 years in an English speaking country, and then you live it. At least between 8 to 12 years. Or you can get a C1 if you are a professional in language,
Mm.
like me. I behold, we don't say I have, we say I behold when we talk about academics. It's not, I have C1 level. No, the correct word, the register of lexicon is I behold. Okay, I behold a C1. I don't behold a C1 plus because I made a mistake in one word.
What
One
word?
word, yes. I was doing the listening test and I made a mistake in one word.
What is the word?
Which was the word? Garden. Because I heard garden. So I said, garden. It should be God or goddess or something like that. And it was garden. I was really nervous and I didn't notice the kind of speaking or the kind of subject they were speaking about. They were speaking about a museum. I will never forget it. They were talking about a museum and they were talking that they have paintings, they have this, they have sculptures. And then he says, we have the Italian room with a lot of picture of garden. And I say, okay, they are Italian. The Vatican is in Italy. Maybe they are talking about representation of God. That's what I thought. Okay. So what do you find in the museum? Representation of gardens, representation of God, and representation of sightseers. So say, oh my God, it's a museum, a garden in a museum. No, that process was fasting my mind while I was listening to the rest of the material. So I selected God. It was a garden. So it makes me not to get a C1 plus. I will never forget that. I behold a C1, not a C1 plus. And it has to do with the scale we use they use in Cambridge. So you have a
Oh.
minimum grade to pass, an average grade, and a top grade. For example, minimum grade is 50 points, average is 75, and this from 75 on, you get a B1 plus. Okay, so depending, you get 50, 51, 57, you say, okay, I got a B1 minus. You get 75, exactly 75, okay, it is a B1. But if you get 90, 95, you get a B1 plus. Okay, if you didn't know that, you know. So this is the B1 exercises, and they say, notice, The preliminary English correspond to the level A to B2 of the common blah, blah, blah. Right, notice, writing and reading is 1 hour and 30 minutes. 3 writing parts and 5 reading parts. Okay? That's why they do that practice. Let's go to close. Okay. Multiple choice close. Let's go here. Okay, so notice, in this case, you have options. Let's say this is the easiest one. Okay, because you have different options. So what you have to do is, first of all, as I said, skimming. Do skimming, please. In 1 minute, do skimming. Remember, in skimming, you read as fast as you can. Let's get 30 seconds instead. Tiki, 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 tiki. Remember, skimming, read fast, get the main idea. What is this text about? Okay, click, 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 click. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What was the text about?
The invention of the blocks of Lego. Who was the creator? The I don't know. Such I think it's like that.
Okay, Marlon, which idea could you get in 30 seconds about the text?
About Lego, the company Lego. I start to
Lego.
talk about Lego.
Lego. Okay.
Lego.
Yes.
Start to talk about a carpenter. And talk about the star, the first part that they made, and how change the products.
Okay, so notice, both of you got the main idea, Lego bricks. Okay, Eduardo got some characteristic about who invented the Lego bricks, and Marlon got a different characteristics, how the company developed. In the case of Marlon, he can get that because he works with developing products, okay? And Lego is an industry. So as Marlon's field is industry, he would got it faster and better with more details than Eduardo. But the purpose was fulfilled. What is the text about? Lego bricks. Was it with the language, was formal or informal?
It's formal.
Yes, very formal.
Okay, because it is let's say an article about Lego bricks and how they are manufactured. Remember, not fabricated. Fabric is tela. Okay? And manufactured.
The word fabric.
Fabric means tela. Yeah. Because fabrica is factory.
Factory.
As
of course.
fabricar,
Yes,
fabricar is manufacture. It's not factorization or to factorize. No, it is fabric is tela, factory is fabrica, and manufacture is fabricar. So notice that they are not very similar, factory and manufacture. Okay, but it has facture, manufacture. Maybe it comes from man and factor, man who work in a factor and produce that kind of idea. Okay, so now we do scanning. Why? Because we are going to try to select a word. Fill the blanks. Okay, now you do scanning. It means you have like 1 minute to read it. Your 1 minute begins now. You have 1 minute to read. Remember, we're working on based on time. Okay. Time is over, so you had the opportunity to read it in detail. Now, let's get to the options. Option 1, you have did, you have turned, you have reached, and you have made. And after you do the exercise, we're gonna check the meaning of words, okay? So what comes in the first space? 1932, a computer Ulrik Kirk Christiansen started a company in Billund, Denmark that would step ladders. Did, turned, reach, or made?
Made,
Okay,
maybe.
yes, he made. Letter D, Eduardo.
Mm, I agree with Marlon.
Made. Okay. A regular verb, produce or create. So notice, made goes, the register is beyond. So made is not just hacer, but produce or create. Okay. If you think about, okay, the verbo make, pasado, participio pasado made, eso es hacer. But in this case, the synonyms are also produce and create. So they produce wood step ladders, or they create wood step ladder, or just they made as in ironing boards and toy. He named the company Lego, a word by combining the first two letters of leg and got. Okay, what goes in number 2? Formed, organized, sort, or regulated. Eduardo?
Sorry, I think is letter A, form.
Formed. Marlo, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
To make something by combining two or more parts. So if you think Spanish, formado, but in this case, is combine instead of
Combine.
formar, combined. Okay, so we said a word formed by combining, or a word that combines the first two letters of leg and got. The Danish word play well. Soon Christiansen was making only high quality toys out of wood. Marlon, number 3, from, for, to, or after. What did you think, Marlon? From, for, to, or after?
I don't know.
But which one do you think it is? And then we go to the kind of words people manage. Which one do you think it is? Make a guess. Remember, it has to be fast. You cannot waste too
But
much.
I don't know after.
After, Eduardo, do you agree with after?
No, I think is a four,
Okay,
maybe.
so let's get after. Incorrect. Or correct. Used to say
Oh
what a
my
word or
goodness.
sign means. Marlon, did you consider for as an answer?
No, I don't know why. Really, I don't know why there is some.
Okay, a word for play well. Okay. Usually, your first impression is the right one. If you do not think very hard on it, but the word that you say, oh, this sounds like, suena como que sí. After World War II, Lego started producing plastic toys. In 1941, the company launched automatic binding block bricks, its first interlocking construction blocks. In the 1950s, the name was changed to Lego Bricks, and the company came out with the Lego system of plates. which included 28 sets and 8 vehicles. It began selling the toys. It too, it either, it also, it above. Marlon?
C. Also.
Okay. Also. Do you agree with also?
Eh, yes. Also two. It two also. Yes. Also is better.
Also,
So better.
remember you use to at the end. Also, not used with negative verb, in addition to. The difference is that to goes as defined at the end of a sentence and also goes in the middle. Both means the same.
That's the reason. Because it sounds the both sounds good, but it two is just in the end. Okay.
To is at the end of a sentence. For
Okay.
example, it began selling the toy in Denmark too for the first time. Let's continue with the next one. It also began selling the toys Denmark for the first time. Number 5, outside, apart, away, and outdoors. Which one do you think it is, Madeline?
Outside.
Outside. You
No,
agree,
no,
Eduardo?
no.
I agree
Yeah, you
with
say
Marlon.
outside.
Yes.
For me,
I
it's
guess.
outside.
Okay. Okay.
Outside. As I told you, your first impression sometimes is the right one.
It's
Okay?
exactly.
Yes, outside, not in a
I feel the same.
particular city, country, etc., and not in a special place. Okay, you can also say, okay. Outdoors,
No, no.
outdoors is that's something that you do out of your house in an open space. No. Away of Denmark. So they didn't sell them in Europe, but maybe in Africa, away of Denmark. No.
Okay,
A part
that's
of Denmark, apart. Spanish aparte. Wait. Is a part in in English the same as in Spanish? No. A part is set aside. So toys set aside of Denmark. Okay, en países que están apartados, que países que no están cerca, que están excluidos de Dinamarca. No. So what I have outside. Okay, but that process have to be fast.
okay.
Okay. For the first time. In 1958, Lego received a patent for the modern bricks so famous today. The new bricks not only had studs on top, but tubes inside that lock onto the studs of bricks. Next, another, other, and others. And here comes, this is the most difficult word to select in this text. It's the most difficult, actually. Next, another, other, and others. Which one do you think it is? And do not think Spanish. Marlon? Next bricks, another bricks, other bricks, and others bricks.
Oh, others bricks.
Others bricks, says Eduardo. Marlon, do you agree with others or you have a different option?
The first word that is in my mind is another, but I don't know why.
Okay.
The other is others.
Let's try.
Because it's plural.
Okay, let's try another. No. Let's try others. No.
No.
As I told you, this is the most difficult word in all the text. Why? Because another is using singular. Others is using plural. But when it is a noun, I like Montañez coffee ground. I don't like others. But when we talk about For example, I like Montañez coffee. Kinds of coffee. Other is as an adjective, singular and plural at the same time. The second of two things, the rest extra. Why other? Because I have here the word in plural.
Yes, that the
So
reason
next
because
breed, no. Another is singular, no. Others has an S, and an S here, no. Other. Don't worry, Marlon. This is not A1. It is not in A2. We teachers have to explain how to use other, another, the other, the others in a particular class. Okay? Maybe next week I'm going to explain how to use those words before starting with writing. Okay? Because they are very, very common usage in English. I don't understand why it is not included in the program. Okay? So other bricks. Let's get to the vocabulary. In 1932, a carpenter, Åke Christensen, started a company in Billund, Denmark, that made wood step ladders. Step ladders. That's the first word everybody asks.
you know.
That's a step ladder. Okay. Stairs, the one we have in the houses. Ladders, this kind of escalera. Ironing boards and toys. You know ironing boards?
I don't know.
Las planchas de las tableros, ¿no?
This object that people have in their houses for ironing the clothes. That's an ironing board. Okay?
Un burro de planchar.
Yes.
Oh.
In Venezuela, we call it, I think in Colombia, they call the same, tabla de planchar. Okay, I didn't know here they call a burro de planchar, but that's it. And toys.
This is very guayaco.
Yes, he named the company Lego, a word formed by combining the first two letters of leg and got, the Danish word for play well. Soon Christiansen was making only high-quality toys out of wood. Any expression of word besides iron board and step ladders that you don't know?
What is God?
God. Yes, God.
God. Good. I don't know what is how
God.
pronounced.
That's Danish.
Okay.
Okay, in Danish, leg means play, and God means well. Maybe from the word God, that is very similar in most languages, say like jugar de acuerdo con los deseos de Dios. So it would be well. After World War II, Lego started producing plastic toys. In 1941, the company launched, and this word is always a problem because launch means show for the first time. Okay, so you can launch a product, you can launch a song, you can launch a movie, and you can even launch a party. My daughter's birthday is this Saturday. Actually, it is this Saturday. And she's going to launch a dinner party for her friends. Okay? In Spanish, it would be lanzar. But you say, okay, but lanzar in English is throw. Can I throw a party? Yes, you can throw a party. But you cannot throw a new music or a new dish or a new machine. Okay? You cannot throw a machine, but you launch a machine, present something for the very first part. So the company, for the very first time, started making and selling automatic binding bricks. Binding, bricks that can attach one each other. They can put together, attach. Its first interlocking construction block. Interlocking is like binding, that they get one each other and they don't move. In the 1950s, the name was changed to Lego Bricks, and the company came out with the Lego system of play, which included 28 sets and 8 vehicles. Okay, it also began selling the toys outside of Denmark for the first time. In 1958, Lego received a patent for the modern bricks so famous today. The new bricks not only have studs, stud means that protuberant pieces
Mm,
on top with tubes inside that lock, se encajan, onto the studs of other bricks and hold them securely together. I love Lego. I think it was the first toy my father bought me. And I have tons of Legos, tons. I mean, like a large plastic bag full of Legos. But as I was growing up and my brother was growing up, my mother threw them away. She gifted it to the maid children or something like that. Nowadays, Legos are so expensive that most of them stopped being toys for children, but they became toys for adults. Okay, because they became really complicated and adults love Lego. I have a friend whose Lego connection is related to Star Wars. Of course, he has a lot of money. He can pay for them in Amazon
They
and
are
bring them.
expensive, yes.
Yes, and bring them to Venezuela. My dream for my birthday, that is October the 1st, soon also, is to get a set of Lego bricks. My daughter asked me, Mommy,
Really?
yes, Mommy, what do you want? This because for me, I try to engage something is enjoyable. For example, I love puzzles, rompecabezas. I had locked like 5,000 puzzles. Of course, it took me like 6 months because I work. I had to take care of my daughter. My daughter was still a child, but I really, really love puzzles. Of course, Lego bricks, the new models are kind of a puzzle because you have to follow the instructions strictly. Otherwise, you get something, but not what you want. So my daughter asked me, Mommy, what would you like to have for your birthday? Say a Lego, a set of Lego blocks. I don't care if it is not Lego, it is pirata Lego. Hey, that is but I want a beautiful set of Lego to put it here and start putting them in my shelf. Okay, that's what I want for my birthday, a set of Lego bricks. She told me, Mommy, but Lego, our original Lego are expensive. I said, yes, but I don't care. I can use the imitation, the mock Legos, but I want something I can fix. I can put one with the other and create something, even if I have the instructions. Okay, it's part of my crazy mind. And under my bed, I have now a 500-piece puzzle that I got as Christmas gift. I already started, but my granddaughter took it down. It was like 50% ready, and my granddaughter, what's this, Grandma? So I
Oh
have to start
no.
again. Yes, and I have to start again. I'm thinking about buying a puzzle mat. Puzzle mat is like a piece of fabric special for making puzzles. So you put the puzzle and then you can roll it, la enrollo. And when I want to continue, I disenroll, and I'm gonna find all the pieces in its place. It's called puzzle mat.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, can I find a puzzle mat here in Ecuador? I have to find it out. Okay. So with this, we finish how to do a cloze test. Okay. Next week, I'm going to keep on working on cloze test, but now with the you create your right cloze test. You select the words. You won't have the choices. The method is the same, but in this case, you need to really, really recognize the keywords and the grammatical structure so you can create the right word for each one. Okay?
Okay.
So have a nice weekend and see you next week. Okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye
Eduardo.
bye.
Thank you for
Bye bye.
coming.